everybody, it's Joel from Silver Arrow Cars, and I am here with our beautiful 1970 Jaguar XKE Roadster. This is a 4.2 inline six car with a 4-speed manual, and this is probably the nicest one that we've ever had the pleasure of doing some work on, driving, and just having in the shop. It's a very, very well done car, and this probably drives better than any E-Type that we've ever had. And we just had it over at Coachworks to have them go through the car and finish off some minor details as what is normally required on old collector cars that don't get driven. And the same thing came from their mechanic and their team, was that this was an exceptional car, drove really, really well, and I have to say the same. It's very impressive. It's as you'll see in our driving video, please watch that. It pulls really, really well. Feels like the sports car it's supposed to be. I've driven a lot of these cars, and I wouldn't say that's the same for every single one. This one has had a lot of time and money spent on it. Had about $55,000 worth of restoration done in the early 2000s, or late 2000s, I guess, in around 2008. That's when the gentleman that owned this for a number of years purchased the car from another collector here in our area. And then this fella by the name of Merritt, he is well known in our area as a guy that just loves the process of restoring cars and spending money on them. He doesn't drive them a whole heck of a lot, but certainly has a big love and appreciation for classic cars, especially British ones, and this one was no different. The car does come with a folder of a lot of the receipts, and so parts receipts from XKE Limited, and a couple other shops for all the parts. Then there's all the receipts for the bodywork. The paint and the bodywork was done by Coachworks, and Coachworks is our partner here in our area. We trust them with all of our 300 SL work, our Dino work, basically everything that we have. We work exclusively, almost exclusively with them. So they did the restoration work back in 2008 when they were an independent company, and it shows. The craftsmanship and the quality of the paint job right across the car is quite impressive, especially considering it was done in 2008. At the time, certainly you didn't have to pay as much as you do these days for a paint job. I think if you wanted to repaint this car and do that same work today, it's probably $25,000 to $30,000. At the time, it was about $15,000 for Merritt to take on that job. There's a lot of receipts in there for bright work and chrome work, chrome plating with the wire wheels. There is receipts with well-known British engine specialists here for work on the engine, full tune-up, and a full new interior, carpet set. Everything is as you would hope it would be with an E-Type, which isn't always the case. So this is a car that you can confidently bid on. We have the Jaguar Heritage Certificate. That comes with the car, as well as all the documentation. He had magazines, he has owner's manuals, he has shop manuals, he's got parts list catalogs, and there is the Heritage Certificate from Jaguar showing chassis number 1R9876, the engine number, body number, gearbox number. You'll see all those numbers in the auction that you can link up with this Heritage Certificate. It does show that it was originally delivered with a black top. However, when the restoration work was done, it was switched to a tan top, which I think looks very smart. Of course, you're going to see those in the photos. So please use this video to go alongside the photos that we've provided in our auction and the driving video, which you should definitely check out. Again, drives really, really nicely, and we spent the extra money to make sure that it did. Pulls really strong. I'm going to walk around the front of the car and the ins and outs and show you in some detail here with our cameraman Tyson, and just show you the attention to detail and all the nooks and crannies that you can see that's a little harder to see in photos. That's going to give you the confidence and the more rounded knowledge to place your bids and take home this car. We are selling this car no reserve. We are selling it out of Blaine, Washington. That's where we have a facility and where we hold a lot of our cars. We are selling this car no reserve. We believe the car speaks for itself, both through presentation, the videos we've done. We believe wholly in it. It is a fantastic example in what I think is the pure, iconic, perfect colors for an E-Type Roadster. So I'm gonna start with the front. The chrome on the front bumper is like new. There is some fine marks in it. Same with the bezels in and around the headlights, but very high level of shine, no corrosion or pitting coming through. The hood and the paint right across the hood, all the way up. I've got no chips I need to point out to you. I have no big scratches I need to point out to you. I could point out this piece of fluff that I somehow got underneath the trim and I can't get it out with my fingers. But very impressive. It would come to you feeling very much like a fresh car. On the underside of the mouth or in the grill of the front of the car, there is the odd little mark, one from the front plate bracket, and then a couple on the underside, but very, very tidy. Moving around, and then underneath the marker lights and the front lenses, the acrylics in them are really quite good. They are opaque, of course, with some refraction in them, no cracks. The screws holding them in, no corrosion or rust. Those are very fresh looking. The rubber grommet or seal going around the bumper, between the bumper and the body, all that's very fresh. Same thing here around the side markers. The wheels, the wire wheels are in great shape. Pretty hard ones to tidy up and clean up, and you'd excuse us, by the time we did this video, we had cleaned up the wheels and then we took it out for a test drive. So a little bit of dust on them at the moment, but very high level of shine, no pitting or rust showing on these guys. They look really well. Same thing with inside the fender wells, very nice. And then the same thing is gonna be a little bit repetitive as I move back through the car, but I've got no gouges, I've got no big chips, I've got nothing to show you. I was just wiping it down with some spray and shine, and smooth, no orange peel. You'll see the wet sanding in the bodywork or Coachworks receipt. Just nice, smooth, clean body lines all the way through. The chrome at the top of the doors, same thing, high level of brightness or shine to it, a little bit of, I would just say wear and marks in it. No big scratches, just a little bit of swirling. Same thing goes with that rear bumper. The tonneau or the soft top cover is like new. It has all of the attachment points it needs, the snaps in and around, and then the hooks to go over the rear trim all the way around, and it fits quite snugly. Snuggly bugly. So rear rims, same thing, nothing to really tell you about there. And the theme continues all the way around. Same thing with the bumper, high level of shine. I believe he had those re-chromed or purchased new ones, but very high level of shine. Just the odd wear mark, or we'll try and show you that through the light, through the camera. Trunk lid and the rear emblem, I've got nothing to tell you about other than it looks fantastic. Again, I've got no orange peel to report across the back. And then same thing along the bottom. High level of shine to the stainless exhaust. It looks fantastic, nicely centered, coming out through the back, and you'll hear that in our drive. It sounds fantastic. So I'm gonna just pop the hood. Hood comes up on its hydraulic shocks. So looking through under the hood, again, lots of work has been done to the car over the years. We just did a tune-up on it. We did new plugs, new wires, the brick reservoirs. You'll see the receipts. The triple carb setup, so the triple SU carbs, running very, very well. I saw some receipts in there about linkage and setup on them. The choke works the way it's supposed to. The electric fans can't remember the name of it, but the essentially the thermostat in the top of the radiator, I believe we replaced that, and that is new and fresh to make sure you don't overheat out there. But all very nice and tidy and clean underneath the hood. Suspension components. You will see the data plate here on the driver's side underneath the airbox. And then just opening up the doors, there's not a lot to show you on the inside of an E-Type. It's a very tight car. However, I am 6 feet. I fit quite well in it. Getting in is usually the hardest part, getting over the door sills, but the interior is in exceptional condition. As I said, it was replaced and it's had a whole interior installed to it. The dash is in great condition. The carpets look like new. It's got cocoa mats, black and tan, to match the seats that are in it. The cushioning in the seats is great. Very supportive on my side. Everything from the shift boot to the center console to all the switches, all the gauges, the steering wheel, that was new. The glass is very, very clear. Very, very impressive. Now moving to the trunk, and this is where you will find underneath a panel the wire wheel spare, and then the all-important to everyone, and especially Jaguar enthusiasts, is that it does have a complete tool roll, does have the jack, does have the knockoff tool, and does have the, I believe it's brass mallet for the knockoffs. This is where also, here it is, we've got our service manual, we've got our parts list, and some old parts catalogs for the E-Type. The vinyls in the boot all look like they were replaced at the same time the interior was done. I'm not showing, as you're probably wondering to yourself, there is a wooden panel that covers on top of the spare here, and then the mat goes back over top, but for the sake of this video, I pulled that out and put it off to the side. So, I do encourage you to watch our driving video. I'm gonna take it out for a good spin. You'll see how it looks on the road, as well as I will do a highway run. I'm gonna zip through the gears and just show you how everything operates, how it sounds, and kind of the tell of the tape really once you get these guys on the road. But this car, just to recap, 1970 Jaguar E-Type Series 2, 4.2, manual transmission, of course. We are selling this car with no reserve. Top bid buys it. We'll handle everything that needs to happen as far as getting it to your location. So if that's in Canada, great. Overseas, no problem. Or if that's staying in the United States, it is currently on an Ohio title, and we can handle all the shipping, enclosed shipping, to get it to you, to wherever it needs to go. General guideline from Blaine, Washington to Florida, $3,500. A little bit less if we're going to the northern East Coast. And then down into California, usually about $1,800 US. And that wraps it up. If you'd like to contact me and ask any other questions, you can do so in the comment section. You can do it in the contact seller button, or you can just hop on the internet, Google us, Silver Arrow Cars Limited, and you can just pick up the phone and call us. We're usually here, and if not, you can leave a message with whoever does answer the phone, and we will give you a call back. We're usually in and out of the office, and we'll call you from our mobile phones. But a very, very impressive E-Type Roadster, drives like an absolute stud, looks stunning in person. And since the time of restoration, which I think happened at about 71,500 miles, we're currently at an odometer reading of 73,268 miles. So since restoration, it's maybe traveled 2,000 miles, and all of that I guarantee would be happening here on Vancouver Island, or was on Vancouver Island before we relocated it. So thank you very much. Please reach out. Good luck to you. We'll see you on the next car.